Good morning. Welcome to church at Connection Church Online. We're not meeting today in person as we usually do at the Marion Theater here in downtown Ocala. It's that Sunday between Christmas and the New Year, and it's a Sunday that we typically take the Sunday off, give our volunteers a break, and knowing that people are kind of scattered and just really overwhelmed from all the activities and things going on the last few weeks, it's just a good day to rest and get ready for the new year. And it'll be here this week. We'll be into a brand new year. So my name is Jeff. I'm the pastor at Connection Church, and I just wanted to come on and spend a few minutes with you by video this morning, talking about maybe something that would help you as you get ready for a brand new year. Let me read a couple of verses to you that I have found to be such an encouragement to me through the years. We find them in the Old Testament in a book called Lamentations. In chapter 3 of that book, there are a couple of verses that maybe you've heard before or pieces of it. If you grew up in church, you probably even can think of a song that is from these two verses. But let me read them to you first. It's Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. The Bible says, "Because of the Lord's faithful love, we do not perish, for his mercies never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Isn't that a great encouragement? Great is your faithfulness. Of course, the great hymn written from those words here in Lamentations 3. But why are they so important, and what encouragement can we draw from them? I think there's something extremely comforting about the truth. His mercies are new every morning. We probably are already thinking about all kinds of things in the new year. Maybe you've had some time off from work, or maybe you haven't had time off from work and you're already thinking about all the things that are coming up, activities, plans, appointments that are maybe already on your calendar in the new year. That's true for me as well. Already got things that I know I have to engage in within just a few days of the beginning of 2026. But what about how we approach those things? If we're not careful, we'll get so consumed by the things that are coming up that we forget to enjoy the right now. With all the things that are already probably potentially finding their way onto our calendars, and all the things that are already being mapped out for responsibilities and things that we have to do in the new year, we sometimes forget to just stop and enjoy the day itself, the moment that we're in right now. I think we get so busy at times looking ahead that we forget to look at now. And this verse is a great reminder that whatever we're facing in this moment, God has already prepared for us, and he is already in that moment before we ever get there. His mercies are new every morning. I think this is a beautiful reminder that every day we wake up is a fresh start. It's an opportunity for us to see his compassion, his grace, his forgiveness, his faithfulness as it renews us day by day. It doesn't mean that every day is going to be great. It doesn't mean that we're not going to experience difficulties and trials and hardships. But what it does mean is, because he gives mercy, because he is faithful, we can trust him as we approach all of those things, whatever they are, that we experience from day today. I think one of the most beautiful illustrations of that is found in the Old Testament as well, all the way back in the book of Exodus, chapter 16. In Exodus 16, we find the children of Israel, now free from the Egyptian slavery they had been under for years and years, making their way towards the promised land. There were challenges. And as Moses, their leader, led them, he came up against those challenges almost every single day. On one particular day where food had become scarce or maybe even run out and water was hard to find, the people began to grumble and complain. They began to wonder why they were where they were and why they didn't stay where they had been, where there was food and ample food and water and all the necessities. And now here they were, starving and thirsting in the middle of this barren desert land. And so Moses prays, and God tells him that he needs to prepare the people, because tomorrow morning he was going to provide for them like never before. When they woke up the next morning, there would be something covering the ground. It was something edible, something they could collect and eat. The people would eventually call it manna. We don't know what it is. Well, what is this? But it was sweet to the taste, and it was filling, and it was a substance that they needed to be able to survive from day to day. In chapter 16, as God gives the instructions, he also tells Moses to instruct them that they were only to pick up enough for that day. They weren't to grab more. They weren't to get more to stockpile for the week ahead or the month ahead, just enough for that day. And they quickly found out, when those who were not willing to believe that it would come back the next day, that there would be enough, that they collected extra and tried to stockpile it, that it rotted in the night and it became inedible for them. So every day, from that moment forward, the children of Israel would wake up and walk outside their tent and find all over the ground the food they needed for that day. And I think it's just a beautiful picture of how God provides for us each and every day. A reminder that every day his mercies are new. They never end. They are always in abundance for us, and they are always just what we need. I don't know, as you look back across the landscape of 2025, what your years look like. I'm sure there have been some really good moments, but I'm also sure of this. There have been some challenges. There have been some difficult moments. That's true in my life. I've walked through some valleys this year that I never saw coming. I've dealt with all kinds of things that I never thought I would have to deal with, from personal things to health-related things, and all of those things are no doubt challenging and perplexing to us at times. But then I pause and I remember that every day I wake up is another new day, a day where his mercy is on full display, and a day where I can trust him that his mercy is new for that day and it never ends, because he is faithful. In fact, his faithfulness is great. So how do we approach this new year? What do we do in these days, these final days of 2025? I think we have to look forward to the new year with a sense of expectation. There are going to be some really good things to look forward to in a new year. There are also going to be some challenges. There are going to be some moments where our faith may be tested, where we find ourselves wondering, how are we going to make it through? And there are other times where if we will trust him, we'll see that God is good. He has always been good. He will always be good, because his mercies never end and they're new every morning. And because of that, we can declare, great is his faithfulness. I think for us to experience that through the lens of faith and to trust him in trying days, we have to be willing to let go of everything else and know that he is enough and that he will give us exactly what we need. One of those places in the Bible where that really comes to a place where we can look at that and see that and then make some decisions about how we're going to live our life is found in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. The writer of Hebrews says it like this. They say, therefore, since we also have such a large cloud of witnesses surrounding us, look at this, let us lay aside every hindrance and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that lies before us. Maybe the question for you today as you look into 2026 is what hindrances do you need to lay down to be able to run freely into a new year? What sin have you allowed yourself to become entangled in that you know is just weighing you down, that's keeping you from running freely, that's keeping you from trusting him, that's keeping you from experiencing his goodness in your life? And what would it take for you today to decide to once and for all lay it down? Let go of the hindrance, let go of the burdens, let go of the sin that so easily entangles us and slows us down, and instead just lean into trusting him, relying on his mercy that never ends and is new every morning, and believing, truly believing that his faithfulness is great and he's got you and he's going to have you and he's going to take care of you. How do we do that? Well, the writer of Hebrews goes on to say this: once we are willing to lay aside every hindrance and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and we begin to run the race of following and trusting Jesus, he says we do that by keeping, verse 2 of chapter 12, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the source and perfecter of our faith. We look to Jesus, who ran this race that we're running, who experienced the pain and the heartache and the temptations of this world. He didn't sin, but he knows what it is for us to struggle in this world. He saw the hunger, he saw the pain, he saw the brokenness of the lives of the people around him. And he kept his eyes marching forward and trusting his Father. And so we can look to him as our example, and we can follow him with absolute certainty that where he leads, where he goes, we can go as well. A brand new year, endless possibilities, good and bad, but possibilities for us to see God do and work in our life like never before. I can't wait to see you next Sunday back at the Marion Theater for our first service of 2026. I can't wait to begin walking in this new year with you through good days and challenging days. I can't wait to see what God is going to do in all of our lives as we trust him more. And I can't wait to wake up each and every single day knowing that the new day brings new mercy that never ends and a faithful God who is always with us. Praying for you as you enter into this new year, and I can't wait to see how God uses all of us to make a difference in our world, and in particular, in our community here in Ocala, Florida. So have a wonderful Sunday, whether you're worshiping in some other place with family or friends, or whether you chose to just rest at home today. I hope this moment of encouragement will take you into the new week, take you over into a new year, and prepare you to trust God like never before. He cannot, he will not fail. He has promised us that. Great is his faithfulness, and we rejoice in that truth today. God bless you guys. Have an incredible week and a happy new year, and we'll see you next Sunday, January the 4th, 10:30 a.m. at the Marion Theater, 50 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala. We'll see you there.